dough, chaps. We've done our dough.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Odds. Week 42 is here. So, last week, the profit accrual getting back on track program is a roaring success. We had $63 back on the racing. Most of it was due to Inferencia. Great winner in the first race in Sydney. For anyone who has the strategy of taking a horse they like with a field for Quinella, paid off brilliantly. The Quinella paid, I think it was 800, could have been more. Inferencia was about 30 to 1. Twin Turbo must have been about 50, 60, 70 to 1. And the numbers were 13 and 17, which numbers players wouldn't have taken. The trifecta even, third place was huge as well. Paid something like 65,000. So there were some opportunities there for that kind of thing. But yeah, Inferencia was 23 fixed on the tote. 23 fixed, then on the tote drifted to 29. So we had it at the fixed price. Would have been even better if we had it on that tote price. We also had Bur Dubai as a winner, Maruna as a winner, Chiller Chap as a winner, Maruna obviously in the Golden Slipper, broadsiding as well. So it was a really good day. Got back 63 for the 50 outlay. Could have been more with a few extra exotics thrown in and got, but happy with that. And then football-wise, things worked out well because I just had a huge week. And so then rather than doing the guaranteed bonus bets back on the Thursday or Friday game, I had to do a Saturday game. And I chose the Essendon Adelaide game, expecting that it would be a dry deck, lots of goals, and that Adelaide would probably win. And that's how it panned out. And with Rochelle, with Rankin, with Fogarty, it was basically done by half time. So that was 20 into 60, odds of $3. Perfect chef's kiss. So the sport deficit is being wound back slowly or increasing with pace. Racing, we're still ahead. So we've clawed our way sort of up to like 5, 6, 7% up. And on AFL, we were down around about 120. I think 117 to be exact. We've sort of clawed our way back to being only down 60 or 70. So hopefully this week that can continue. Overall in the racing, it's up about in that 10 to 15% bracket. So things are going well, and on to this week. So Randwick and Eagle Farm have been cancelled due to heavy rain. So it's only Flemington today. Randwick's going to run on Tuesday. I deliberated whether to do this episode for the Randwick meeting because it is a bit better, but it is still Australian Cup Day. It is still Saturday. So we're going ahead with Flemington. So $50 all to spend on one meeting. I have done a little bit of Ascot and Trentham to round it out. Actually, one of my bigger bets ever at Trentham today, but mostly Flemington. It's a good beating. So let's start there. Small fields, which is unusual for Flemington. Race 1, 1,100 metres, 4-year-old open mare's grade. Not a lot to see here. I didn't really like the race. I find Pondalawi, None Thought, Material Dreams just hard to predict. Material Dreams, I've backed the last 2 or 3 weeks and it hasn't really done anything. It's now got a 3 kilo claim and will probably win at 10 to 1 when I'm not on, but that's the way things go. A Little Deep is the best credentialed horse in the race, can contend with 60 kilos. Bossy Nick's in really good form as the favourite, and then there's a few outsiders down the order. This was a race I just wanted to have something on to use the bonus bets back second or third promo. So I'll do A Little Deep. It's got a great first up record. Kieran Marr trained. I just think it's still value, being a top quality horse at that $4.60 price. It's had a few trials. It's run well. So we'll do each way on A Little Deep. And then I think Lavero down the order, 54 kilos, 2 kilo claim. First up, it's got a really good record. 7 starts, 2 wins, 3 placings. It's good at the distance. It's had a couple of good trials. It's paying 34. So I'll do a Quinella for Lavero as a standout with the field, and then each way on Lavero as well with one of the bonus bets. So small win bet on Lavero, and then either a cash bet or a bonus bet for the place. It's currently paying 7 for the place. So I just want to kick off, ease into the day, nothing crazy in that race. Race 2, 1,400 metres, 2-year-olds open. This is pretty difficult and pretty terrible. A lot of these are resuming where I've had one run. The form on the board is not great. A lot of them have trials, again, not great. The favourite's Prestige Ole at $2.80. The win was good at Ballarat, came from back in the field. The second horse sort of did as well, so I think that the leaders went too hard, and these two horses have rounded up the field. Don't know how well that bodes. Now it's got to go down, not down the straight, but it's got to sort of round up this field as well. Barrier 2, it's probably going to go back. I just think it's a tricky race, so I'll have $1 the win bet on Prestige Ole, only because it's favourite, only because the gap between its form and everything else is quite large. Kangaroo, number 4, it's had one run for an 8, the Caulfield. Sort of tailed off, so something might have been wrong, and then it's come back for a trial and it's won. So that's paying $60 and $10 for the place. I think 10 for the place is generous in a field like this where the horses aren't that great. Also, it's got 8 runners, so you will get paid out for 3rd place. So yeah, just a small place bet on Kangaroo, token win bet on Prestige Ole. Again, it's a move on straight away. Race 3, now we start to get into group action. Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes, 2-year-olds Group 3. This one, Enchanted buys the favourite, off a 3rd and a 6th. The 6th was behind Military Tycoon Flemington. I'm not super enthused by that form. Befuddles had 2 good runs. It won at Moonee Valley when it led. Again, easy to do. Lots of horses do it. It kicked away on the corner. And then it ran a good second to McGaw in a really good race last week. In saying that, McGaw and Befuddle came around the turn together and ended up running 1st and 2nd. So it might have been tough to run on. It'll definitely be harder over the 1200 here. It's also going to have to like the Flemington Straight, which it's had 1 run and come 6th, but that was in listed grade behind Shining Smile. But even still, I don't necessarily want to jump on that. Eden Rose has to be the best credentialed horse that's had 5 runs to have not run a place going around in the country right now, I would say. The 4th at Flemington behind Vinrock, that was a tough race. Not necessarily a really good field, but it was a competitive, big open field. 5th behind Devil Knight in the Blue Diamond. 5th before that in the Maiden behind Tom, who's run some decent races. 4th behind Cavalry Girl. Now could be the time. It's run against the absolute big dogs, and now in a race like this, it's probably pretty perfectly placed from barrier 7 too. I want to briefly talk about ETD. Made a stack of ground in that Befuddle McGaw race. It was the widest on the turn. It was already powering around them really, really wide. In the straight, it still made good ground. It was overtaken by... There was one with similar colours that came around it that was accelerating a bit faster, but had every reason to because ETD had done a power of work before that. So barrier 9, that's going to go back. That, if the pattern suits it as well, that could be really good at 750. I think that's probably better value than Befuddle. Also than Enchanted Buy. There are ones down the order. Recuperado's definitely a chance. 2 good runs out of Farnan. Prestige Schnitzel. I'll have to investigate why there are all these prestige horses all of a sudden in sort of the breeding circles. Desert Falcon, that's coming off a trial win at Bendigo. It's paying 60, so that's food for thought. And then Langnell, number 9. 2 trials, 2 wins, both at Cranbourne. Out of Tassord and Majaro, I've never heard of. Barrier 2, so that is definitely interesting also. Bets here, I'm going to go ETD, expecting it to run on well. Eden Rose each way, also expecting that to improve. And get some sort of runs on the board for its hard work over the last few months. And then Aquanella, maybe actually to try and get some value out of Desert Falcon, trifecta Roving Banker, maybe ETD number 3 and Desert Falcon number 8 to Rove to be in that trifecta. And then the others that I've mentioned, 2 Eden Rose, 6 Recuperado, 7 Prestige Schnitzel, 9 Langnell to roam around that. Just in case Enchanted Buyer comes nowhere, Befuddle comes nowhere, and that's a bit of a decent trifecta. As always, these bets will be in the sheet at the end. Race 4, Royal Ascot Vobis Gold Reef 1600. Again, a bit of a forget race for me. I think at the weights in Dollar is really a bit of a standout. It's been running in such good company, Group 3, Group 3, Group 1. Compared to these other ones, I think Athanatos, it's been having definitely good runs, but coming through 64 open grade, a bit of a different story. Also 11 starts for 1 win and 9 placings, so can definitely run well, but rarely wins. So it might change today, but I'd rather be on in Dollar. Same deal, Cavity Bay. I just feel like that's always a few lengths behind them. Storm Season, 2 runs, 1 at Pakenham, made a sack of ground. Need to see more, but it's definitely talented, and I can see why it's 480 in a field like this. So I'll just be going simple, each way on it, on Indola, and then an exotic probably around Indola at Storm season with the field to Rove, just in case something like the Muffin Man can jag a place and add some value into things. But yeah, I'd rather watch Athanatos, see if it can take on a small field like this and boss them around. But yeah, Indola's the one for me there. That's race 4. Race 5, Curragh Handicap, 1600, 3-year-olds plus open. Munamek, the old Flemington specialist, the Iron Horse. He's had a few runs in a row now. Pretty rock hard race fit. $10 is probably value. Nugget, scratched recently. Second up here. Running in really good grade. Tough campaigner again. Likes the distance. I feel like there's value there at $16. I really feel in a field like this there is. Badly drawn, but take the chance there. Holy Man's likes Flemington, not necessarily the 1600. The record 6 starts for 2 placings isn't as great, but capable on good ground. That's definitely in the mix. Tempesti is interesting. I think it's been running in Italy. 1600's a fraction short, probably it wants more the 1800, but could definitely run well here in a pretty mediocre sort of, well, a winnable race. Definitely a winnable race for Tempesti. $34 is huge value. Glentanius, I'd rather be on over 24,500, more at Moonee Valley. Immediacy is interesting. 9 starts with 3 wins. It's had 2 trials, recently second at Cranbourne. It's run in good races, so that's definitely in the mix. Overpriced at 17s. Windstorm doesn't really like Flemington. That sort of always ruled it out for me. In judo, I seem to think that it's going to fail sooner or later, but it's been up to the task each time here, but still running in an 84 grade, so I prefer to see. Helsing, this was big odds last time when it ran 4th, around 30-1. Made up a stack of ground in the field, ran on well. The market's expecting that that's going to continue on. It's $3.10 now. They really think it's going to eat up this field over 1600. I'd still like to see it run well again. I feel like, yes, it was a really good run. It bodes really well, but the value might not exactly be there. It's still a difficult to beat any field. Ocean Beyond, no. Blistering, no. Today, just for me. So I think there's value in Nugget. I'll go each way. Nugget, maybe even Munamek. And then a Quinella, 1 Munamek, 2 Nugget, 3 Holy Mans, 6 Immediacy, 11 Helsing. Winnable race for most of that field. Race 6, ATA Bob Hoysted Handicap, 1,000 metres listed race. This one's good, competitive. Midwest will go forward. Pisanello's coming off good Sydney form. Sans Deuce, if you look at the racing form, 400 spells 0, it looks terrible, but loves the track. It's been running in better grade recently. It's trying to sort of crack that group company, and hasn't been terrible. I mean, you know, at Caulfield behind Jimmy Star, it came from almost last, lost by 6 legs. Before that, it was running in Group 3s at Caulfield and Flemington. I feel like it'll improve a lot back to listed grade, so that's interesting at $14. Some informed horses down the bottom. Home Rule Major Share Oak Hill. I'd rather focus on your Oscar's Fortune. That recently ran 6th at Flemington down the straight behind Way to the Stars. There were 2 different groups that day, and Oscar's Fortune was in the group that didn't do as well, but it ran 3rd basically in that cohort. So I'd forgive it for that. Spacewalk, amazing place getter, doesn't win too often. 1 from 5 here at Flemington. Coming for trial win, definitely in the mix. Joyful Fortune was tailed off down the straight at Flemington, but before that it had won a trial at Pakenham, and then since it's won a trial at Flemington. So Hong Kong horse they're trying to get right, and probably has improvement in it. Paying 26, definitely value and definitely interest. Acro Mantua, the same sort of deal. 2 trial wins recently. It's had that win at Moonee Valley, but that's interspersed between a lot of sort of failed runs or tailed off runs. So 50-1. Who knows if it got a good run in the lead, if it was a bit of a leader's track, if it was on the right side. Yeah, could surprise. Could be a bit of a... There was that horse that won at Flemington a couple of times at big odds. It was like Boom and something, New Zealander. Could do something like that, could just suddenly improve. So there's that. I will probably sort of cap it there. I'll go each way on Sans Dute. I think there's improvement to be made. Oscar's Fortune as well. I like the Perth Sprinters in general. And then a Quinella for 1, Oscar's Fortune, 2 Spacewalk, 3 Joyful Fortune, 4 Acrovan Tula, 7 Sans Dute. We'll take on Pisanello and we'll take on Midwest. That's race 6. Race 7, Hong Kong Jockey Club World Pool Spring Classic, 1100 metres listed. Best betting race of the day by far. Super competitive field. Interest all over the place. So Alabama Lass coming over from New Zealand, having beaten Crecchetti by 5 lengths, deserves to be favourite at $2.80. Still a tough race to win. First Settlers really done nothing wrong in its life. Even that night, the Flemington in the Group 1 behind Switzerland, that was a hot race at the time. That can't be faulted in its first prep. Band of Brothers I've backed a lot recently and it's run nowhere. Today, Barry 14.70 to 1. Will it happen? Will it run a place? Maybe. Gatsby's, the form doesn't look that great on paper, but still a high quality horse. Two wins, 2 placings from 9 starts. Winner's Edge has looked very accomplished winning these last 2 races. Sweethearted is super talented, great acceleration, 20 to 1. I've only got to the top. I've only literally gone from numbers 1 to 5. Daggers is a chance. Gallant Sun's a good horse at 30s. Recon has won 2 races really well. I'm paying $34 here. So the competition is just outstanding. Amelita, again, the form doesn't look overly impressive, but the runs have been better than that behind Lady Shenandoah in Sydney. Vestas in Sunshine Coast, I just want to make a note that down the straight, that got behind Private Harry, which has had all the talk this week. Vestas was checked, had to go back, had to restart its run, really motored late. I was very impressed. Down the straight here, should be a bit similar, like it had a very long straight at Sunshine Coast to work its way down. Sort of gives me the sign that it will run well here at Flemington. Barrier 16, it should be on the better side. Really like the Clinton McDonald sprinters anyway. That's into 5.50 now. I think it was 7 earlier this morning. So the money's come. So Vestas is definitely in there. And there's others I haven't even mentioned. Rich Dotty, Bridal Waltz. It's just too competitive. So the value on Sweethearted stands out. I'll have a dollar each way there. Vestas stands out because of that run at Caloundra. I'll have something each way. I feel like the money's come for that. And then a Quinella for 1 First Settler, 4 Winner's Edge, 5 Sweethearted, 6 Alabama Lass, 13 Amelita, 15 Vestas. It's a big one. Sort of has to be done. Recon as well. I want to do a first 4 in this race. I want to try the strategy of all those horses I just mentioned for the Quinella. 1, 4, 5, 6, 13, 15. I want to do those for first, second, third, and then just do Recon for 4th, because often those horses at 30 to 1 that are in form can just, if you can solo them out for a 4th, which gets you nothing normally, but can pump up a first 4 dividend massively, like really massively, I'll do that. So those six Recon for a bit of a first 4 interest. But yeah, best race of the day, best betting race of the day, that's where you want to be. World Pool Spring Classic. Race 8 Australian Cup. To be honest, this one, to me, it's either Pride of Jenny or nothing. I just feel like a lot of these horses are horses I don't really like to bet on, just personally. Light infantry man, don't really know where to put it. Attrition sort of is always running on around the mark. Middle Earth was good last time, but I want to see it now at Group 1 level. Shire's been getting used to this better quality of horses, but even still, it's sort of just been getting up to listed grade. Group 1's a different story. A Tissue I really like at Flemington in general, and at this distance range when it gets up to 2,000 in general. So I just like that as a betting proposition. And then Zardozi was, surprised me last time, it was better than I thought. It sort of didn't do a lot and then got motoring late. So it's a more of a watch race for me. I'll be quite interested how Ferocio goes up on the place, what sort of pace Deny Knowledge sets. From a value point of view, I think there is some in Pride of Jenny. We're talking about that and Mr. Brightside have sort of ruled this division of Australian racing for a while, and I don't think these other horses are up to that level. And Wait for Age, I think, suits. I'll do a Quinella for 6, 7, 8, Pride of Jenny, A Tissue, and Zardozi, just because they're all in the market. It won't pay a lot, but it's more of a I have to sort of do a bet, and that will be it. Otherwise, I'd like to see how the others go. And yeah, Pride of Jenny seems like is back in form. It's over the throat problem that it had, the bleeding problem. And yeah, I'll just do that each way. Quinella, then 6, 7, 8. Race 9, throw Alexis Roy Higgins. Don't think this is a very good quality race. Deacon, yes, looked really good winning at Moonee Valley. Didn't really beat much when you listen to the horses go over the line. Mostly cloudy. It's a real Well, it's won 6 out of 31, so I was going to say it's a non-winner, but no, it clearly has won races. But in this company, it never really seems to win too often. But this could be the day. Barrier 2 really good barrier, beatable field. 650 seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, I just think that Deacon is the best horse in the race, but it didn't beat much last time. 210's too short. Anything can happen. I won't go each way on that. I'll just do a Canelo for 3, 6, and 9. Deacon mostly cloudy, and Berkshire Breeze I feel like has been a bit forgotten about. Used to string a lot of wins together. Otherwise, it's a race I want nothing to do with whatsoever. And race 10, sort of similar. I just ran out of puff here at Flemington. I think that's a tricky race down the straight. I didn't want anything to do with it. So that's all of Flemington. As mentioned, Sydney's washed out. Brisbane's washed out. So where to go? There's one listed race at Ascot, Supremacy Stakes over 1,000. I just want $2 on the favourite, Yes Queen, with William Pike on board at $1.60. And then going straight over to Trentham, Sire's Produce Group 1, race 8. That's at 2:38 this afternoon. I like the wins of La Dorada recently. I feel like La Dorada and the horse that ran second to it, what was that at Matter? To cap it all, I feel like they set a pretty good tempo and they ended up running first and second. I feel like nothing could really get close and drawn really well, barrier 6, $2.50. I'm going to use my sports bet second or third on this. I'm going to have $10 on it. It's pretty unprecedented. I haven't really done that in the whole entirety of this show. And it's not particularly that I like La Dorada to that level, but today just there was a bit of a lack of options. Played tennis at 1 o'clock, so just had to do this in a time constraint, which we all have in our weekends. So I think it's reasonable. I think that the form has been really good. I think that it had to contend with a tempo that didn't really suit it last time. It'll probably get a better run now. I don't know if these other ones are up to it overall. Anything can happen. Horses can lose all the time, of course, but if you ran this race 100 times, how many times would La Dorada win it? I'd probably say 50 or 60. So I think the 250 is even okay. And yeah, if we get a bonus bet back a second or third, I'm really happy with that. So that rounds out the 50. Then it's down to sport. There's a few games on today. I did consider the Melbourne Gold Coast game. Just had a bit of a bad feeling for some reason. So went to Hawthorn GWS tonight and just wanted to do 3 legs. Tab's giving bonus bets back if you miss 1 leg. And then also if you miss the disposal market by 1, it'll pay it out. So I'm doing Cadman for a goal at $1.24. Nick Watson for a goal at $1.14. Those odds might be switched around. I might be getting those mixed up, but one's $1.14, one's $1.24. Cadman didn't get any goals last time, so I feel like he'll come good. And then Watson, I feel like down in Tassie, he'll be okay. And then Carl Amon for 20 touches. So if he gets 19, I believe we get paid out. So that's odds of $2.25. We'll have 20 on that, so it'd be 45 back. And hopefully bonus bets, if things do not go to plan, we can get 2 out of the 3. So that's it. It's a bit of a Melbourne-only situation today, but just hoping that if La Dorada doesn't win, we get bonus bets back, and we can just keep chipping away at this margin. And sport's pretty crucial. We really need those bonus bets to keep the chase up. But things are going good. Still making a profit on the racing. So when in week 42, so can't complain. Have a great weekend. Round week's been moved to Tuesday, so that'll add some spice to the working week. Great luck today. If you're betting, watch for the Flemington racing pattern if you've got the luxury of watching in the early afternoon, and good luck wherever else you may be betting. Signing off.
And then came Sweet Liaison as they turned for home. Jefferson, he's been in front every inch of the way. He's out by 2.